Hi, welcome to another episode of Idea Dream Homes Season 5. Finding a good locality is a tough task, but the tougher task is a clear documentation. It includes a title deed, encumbrance certificate and the ownership certificates. So once again I welcome you all to the Idea Dream Home Season 5. Let me introduce our judges. Anna Kurivila, architect from Kochi. Arun Nityasagar, architect and interior designer from Kochi. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Arun, can you just tell us what are the points that we have to keep in our mind with regards to plumbing?
In a house, you should always think of coupling up toilets to reduce the cost of plumbing. You have to have, if it's a big house, you need to have a person to design the plumbing system. You might have to use pressure plumbing, so you might have to buy a pressure pump that will be connected in the line after the overhead tank. And some areas have very pressure rich water supply, which you don't need a tank to collect and then to pump up. So you should know if you need that and then decide accordingly. If you don't have line pressure in the water supply line, then you have to make a tank, make a pumping system to the overhead tank. Then you have to have ample slopes given to all the flat and sloping surfaces to collect the water, drain it down. That also becomes very important part of the plumbing. Collecting rainwater again, you can have one tank for collecting the rainwater, or you can have a natural source like a well or a pond or even a storm drain that goes in front of your house for taking out the surplus rainwater that is collected.
Anna, you want to add something?
Yeah, I want to say about the plumbing that is there in the kitchen. Earlier it used to be only a sink. Nowadays we have the AquaGuard, fridges will need plumbing, dishwashers have come, the washing machine. So all these have to be thought about at the planning stage and should be let known to the plumber before we start constructing itself, so that we don't have any issues later when we do the interiors.
Okay. So shall we move on to the house for the day?
Yes.
So that is the Parvanam house from Calicut.
Hello everybody, welcome to Idea Dream Home Season 5. Today I'm standing at Parvanam house in Tenipalam, Calicut. Now this is a 2500 square feet 2-floored house, 4 bedrooms. The most standing out feature of this house is hydraulic compression bricks are used to build this structure. To talk about the rooftop design and everything, you can see Victoria style and traditional style have been nicely mixed together. Entrance of this house is traditionally done. It has a sit out area, and have a look at the door. Typical Kerala style. So that's all about the exteriors. Now let's go in and find out the interiors of the house. Welcome to the traditional house of Mr. K.V. Muralidharan, the owner and the architect. Now when you walk in through the front door, the small courtyard welcomes you, which has been done with white pebbles in the beneath, a highly elevated courtyard. The pillars over here, the 4 pillars complement the marble flooring used. That has been used in their drawing room. Drawing room, you can see on both sides are sofas. To talk about the roofing, they have done gypsum board with LED lighting. That dining area is what you're seeing over here. Aided wood has been used in making the dining table. To talk about the detailing of the space, first of all lighting, gypsum board with LED lighting on the rooftop. Then aquarium over here, nice beautiful aquarium. Opposite to me is a sliding door that leads us to the kitchen. Now this is a colorful master bedroom. The blue curtains complement the blue LED lights used on the gypsum board above. Wooden has been used for making the bed and the side tables. Door opposite to me leads us to the bathroom. I have windows on both my sides. This window gives us a clear visual to the main entrance. The spiral design staircase with steel handrail and granite flooring takes us to the upper floor. But before going up, I take a stop over here and look at this beautiful piece of art. This is a Kathakali scene created from pulp. It looks very beautiful and it shouts out the owner's love for traditional art and culture. Okay, now I'm at the upper floor of this house. The first thing that I noticed while coming up is the rooftop design. Earlier we saw the rooftop was done with gypsum board LED lightings. Over here the scene is different. They have concrete and pergola design over there. That design helps for ample amount of sunlight to come in. You see the right side wooden cabinets. This door leads to a utility room used for washing and ironing. Both sides, on both sides, there are 2 bedrooms. This house is 4-bedroom house, 2 beneath and 2 above. The small gap that you see is the courtyard gap that I showed you before, high elevated courtyard. That door leads us to a small sit out area outside, very traditionally and beautifully done. Yet another colorful bedroom of this house. I see a lot of color around here, orange, yellow, then they have cream over here, windows covered from roller blends, colorful roller blends. Opposite to me is the bathroom, and wooden framework has been used for the bed layout and side tables. That's all about the details of this bedroom. It is very relaxable to sit in this traditional sit-out area on the upper floor. I really like this wood pattern, the wood blocks.
Built in a traditional style, it's a 2,500 square feet with 4-bedroom house. So let's hear the remarks from the judges. Anna, what about the exterior landscape?
This house is a traditional house, but they've incorporated some materials which doesn't suit with the traditional style. For example, that blue polycarbonate sheet right in the front. Probably that would have been a later addition because the rainwater was coming inside the car porch, but that doesn't go with the style. They could have used roof tiles to make that extension, so it wouldn't have looked so different. It could have been treated as a traditional house. You could have incorporated more traditional elements, then it would have looked nice. The entrance door has stained glass. Again, that doesn't match with the traditional style. So overall in the elevation, I feel there's a big clash of style. And landscape, they haven't done much other than the paving tiles. So it is an okay house in terms of elevation.
Okay, what do you think, Arun?
It's a very basic done house. I would even call it traditional because, like she told, it's a mix of a lot of things. The slope, I don't know why they went for the cement concrete tiles with ceramic coating. A traditional Mangalore pattern tile would have looked much imposing in the building. And then again that blue polycarbonate sheet in the porch, very strikingly standing out. They could have added another slope there inside the gable, which is on another character, but it does not go with the overall traditional style. Color, I would have suggested they would have gone for white or something of that sort, which would have made the house look much more appealing form wise.
So what do you think on interior, flooring and kitchen?
Interior, the whole room looks small. When you enter the living room, you are actually entering from the center. So the door actually divides that living room into two. Even if you are having a conversation or somebody has to pass through, they have to go right in middle of them. And then you have a courtyard which is not proportionate. That the size of the courtyard is small, the size of the column is really big. When you come to the dining room, the TV is kept on the window. So that clearly indicates they hadn't planned on a TV there before. And near the stairs there's an aquarium. So in a small space they've tried to put in too many things. And the dark colors, when you have a small space, stick to light colors. That will give you a sense of more space. And make use of that windows. They've closed that only window at the back, again making it looking small. So these are some things when you're dealing with small stair. And then they've gone for a very heavy stair. Good thing they've done is there's a seating in front of dining. They haven't given any backrest for it, so it's not really blocking the view. That is one good thing. Kitchen looks practical but a bit too colorful. They've used too many colors. When you're using colors, stick to 2 or 3, but more than that it becomes chaos. So I would say average interior planning.
What's your opinion?
I feel the house is a little too crowded, not clouded. Too many things come to your eye when you just enter in. First thing is the courtyard, like she was saying, the columns are bulbous. It stands out like anything with the white and some kind of texture on it. The upstairs balcony in the front is a very nice space. The trellis, they've imbibed the traditional characters and looks like it is being done in wood, and the space is good for sitting. That's the best space I think in the house, which as far as I am concerned. The bedrooms look very filled in and so many colors on the wall, just like the kitchen. Again, kitchen has got like 2-3 levels of color on the wall, one from the lower cabinet on the tile level, and then on the cabinet, and another totally different material on the top. So it's like a chaos. Some kind of that chaos is continued in the bedroom even. And for smaller houses, definitely stairs should be very light feeling and not using up so much space. So that is what I have about the interiors.
So what do you have to say about color, decor and lighting?
We see too much use of plastic flowers. Wherever possible, they've kept vases filled with different colored plastic flowers. I'm not against plastic flowers, but stick to some color. It shouldn't be pink in one, orange in another, and blue in the other one. So, and I noticed a big artwork, Kathakali artwork. On the whole, it is a little too much on the decor. I believe a house basically should, it should act for the people who live in it. The function should be taken care of. It's not like you keep things just for showing others. It should be for the specific purposes. So they have to actually declutter a little bit, and probably then the house would look better. And I see a very modern sofa in a totally traditional setting. One suggestion I can give is bring lighter color paint into the house and also into the outside. That itself will create a better ambience for the house.
What is your opinion?
I think decor wise, I think they've gone on the dark side. In literal terms, they've gone for really dark colors, which is not supporting the small spaces. Like what she told, light color should be the theme of the house, which will help it to look more spacious, more appealing, and give colors in necessary limits, so that you don't look into that too much and you forget the rest of the space. Now there are a lot of things to look at, and each of them don't have a specific function to tell us. If you wanted to show some artwork, you should actually show it in the real light, not the blue light, and probably target light at it.
What about the overall ambience?
Overall ambience, there is a big clash of style inside and outside. I see not much light inside, so the bedrooms are small. So I feel they need to work a lot on the ambience. On the ambience side, I would just give it average marks.
So what do you think, Arun?
Ambience is generally very poor from my point of view. It's very dark, not very appealing, and a lot of clutter and confusions and character clashes, and everything becomes a big masala. Right? It's just a functional house, nothing more than that.
So that is Parvanam house from Calicut. Now we'll go to the marks. Anna, for the exterior, landscaping, form and character,
clashing styles in the exterior and almost little landscape. So I've only given them 15 on 25 for the exterior.
And from your side, Arun?
It's a very basic design of exteriors. There is no landscaping. Probably they have more function for the paved area. They might have guests or people walking in with coming in with cars, or so probably that is the more practical choice for them. But other than that, when you consider the house, it's very simple and a lot of clash in character and a little bit of chaos in the roofing form, choice of colors and everything. I have given them only 16 out of 25.
Okay. And how much would you like to give on interior, flooring and kitchen?
In the interior, they make some changes like bring in more light by and changing the color tones inside and removing the, if they can open that window and change the TV's position, it will become a better space because the space is little and they've tried to put too many things. Because of all this, I've given them 14 on 25.
Arun?
The really crammed up space is my concern again. I think change of color will be a most easily doable option.
Okay.
They should attempt at it if possible, and then change little bit of arrangement here and there and make the whole thing look a little more lighter in the sense of going for lighter colors, lighter furniture even, getting rid of unwanted lights, opening the windows and bringing in more light will definitely change the whole thing. And even the small detailings they have brought in, I don't think that is needed. So much detailing is needed for a small space like this. The cornices, the beadings and things like that. So if that is taken off, it becomes a totally different house. I have given only 14 out of 25 for the house.
Okay. How much for decor lighting?
Decor lighting needs a lot of improvement. The colors need to be taken into consideration. Like you can't have a blue curtain with a brown room. You have to have some connection, then only it becomes beautiful. So I've given them 14 on 25.
And you, Arun?
I have the same opinion. They have to look at what goes with what. Like there can be contrast shades, there can be complementary shades, or there can be muted shades. But they have to have a decision of what goes with what.
Okay.
So drafting feels like blue on brown is going to be like standing out of everyone. So I think it should be put into some more thought process, and they have to do something that can change the overall mood. Decor is actually a confused situation in the house. I've given 14.
And for overall ambience, Anna?
For overall ambience for this house, I've given 15 on 25.
And you?
I've also given 15 on 25 because it's a very basic house and they have just supported their interior with the exterior.
So Parvanam house from Calicut secures 59 from Arun and 58 from Anna, and that makes a total of 117 out of 200. So that's all for today. We'll be back with more interesting home in our next episode. See you.